Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guests. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. And today, PlayStation's apparently deleting a bunch of stuff from customers' accounts that they have purchased. Just pushing more fuel into the fire that do you really own anything if you purchase it digitally? The answer to that riddle is no, not really. We get into ShoeonHead's video about the Karmelo Anthony situation. I was going to do this over the weekend, but, you know, I'm fickle when it comes to weekends. And then we'll get into Decoy talking about Superman's opening weekend, or Supergirl. Sorry, Supergirl. But what is a woman, really? Let's get into it.
Every single company wants us to get comfortable with not owning anything. Ubisoft, Sony,
Nothing is yours,
EA,
nothing is
the
real.
list goes on and
Nothing
on.
matters.
And now we are hearing that PlayStation is deleting over 500 movies from customers' accounts, and they really don't care about what you have to say. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, when you purchase something digital, whether that is a book on Kindle, whether that is a video game, whether that is something that you are getting offline, what you are doing is really obtaining the license. And you are given the right to use a product. Doesn't really mean that you own it, though. If your PlayStation account or your Xbox account gets...
I will say most of this is the responsibility and the fault of PC Master Race. This is where most of this started. So much, in fact, that most people haven't had disk drives on their gaming PCs or any PC really, for quite a while.
It's banned. You can no longer access those digital purchases, which is insane to think about. This is why I still go out of my way to buy physical whenever I can. And sure, it does suck that things are more expensive, but look at Star Fox, for example. It's not a game key card. It is a $60 physical game. It's $50 if you buy digital, but I still went out of my way to buy a physical copy because this is what I believe in. Unfortunately, though, companies are making that very hard to do, especially when you have rock stars and Take-Twos that are now just adding codes and boxes to try to trick you into buying physical, but it's not really, and they're hoping it's going to deter people. And I am very worried that that is going to be the future of the industry. I get that only about 20% of video game sales now are still physical, but I'm part of that 20.
I will say I will probably only get GTA 6 so I can stream it online, especially if they do, the online mode, which they probably will, unless it sucks and people just revert back to GTA 5.
And I'm not going to stop. And this right here is a major reason why I personally call out these companies, why I try to fight back against them, and why I am not a nice guy when it comes to us getting scammed and ripped off by companies and mistreated. They view us as walking wallets, and so I am going to view them as being scum. And this right here is the reason why. PlayStation is now deleting 551 movies from customers' accounts, reminding us nothing digital is ever truly ours. Sony is contacting PlayStation.
Like, removing it from the store, I completely understand, and I'm behind that. Yes, they don't have the license to sell it forever, but we should, as customers, as people who have bought this shit, if we purchase a movie for whatever reason on our PlayStations, which, who really has purchased a movie on their PlayStation since PS3? Maybe early PS4. Maybe. Here we are, almost PS6 era, and maybe PS4, early PS4, before the Pros came out. Who's really downloading movies onto their fucking PlayStation? With how big the games are, you can barely fit like 5-10 games on there at a time. Come on.
Store users who bought movies from the platform that were distributed by Studio Canal, like Terminator 2, Total Recall, and Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, to say that you will no longer be able to access your previously purchased content from Studio Canal, and it will be
that's a
removed
Sam
from
Rockwell
your
movie.
video library. Now, I believe that if they are going to do that, they should refund you. But are they going to do that? Absolutely not. I actually talked about this a couple of years ago now. I want to say, yeah, in 2022, PlayStation Store actually removed customers' purchased movies. Very similar situation to this. Unfortunately, this is not the first time it's happened. It's not the last time that it's going to happen. And whenever you purchase digital, you need to be aware that this could end up happening to you as well. It says there's no mention of any refunds or make good for the affected users, and there wasn't back in 2022 either, so I wouldn't hold my breath for it now. Sony simply says the films are going away due to our content licensing agreements, once again reaffirming the fact that you never truly are buying anything that's digital, you're just temporarily renting it. This news was brought to people's attention by an ex-user who posted the notification they had received from PlayStation this week, along with the unapologetic news that the purchased movies would be deleted from their account on September 1st. The message concluded with, "Click here for a full list of affected titles that will no longer be supported." And it's just such a slap in the face to anybody who wants to buy digital, anybody who wants to support these companies, anybody who even wants to watch these type of movies, from Dusk Till Dawn, Cliffhanger, Total Recall, Terminator 2 movies.
Look, and I'll be the first one to say that if Amazon was doing this, and I'm sure they have, but something like that, I would be much more upset by this. And if PlayStation was doing this with games, which I'm sure they will eventually, if they haven't already with some of the indie titles, I'd be a lot more upset. But as far as this, who the hell buys movies on their PlayStation? Like, buy. Look, there's not enough room on your PlayStation to download multiple movies. If you have one or two that you really love and you like to watch it every now and then, 100%, and just never undownload it. But from what this looks like, it will be removed from your video. Ugh. Nah, I still, I don't know. Sorry, like I said, I haven't had a full cup of coffee yet, so I'm a little confused at the moment. But no, at first I was thinking if they did it to where, like, when they shut down the 3DS studio for Nintendo and they made it to where you couldn't download anything again, like, hey, download all the stuff that you need to get a memory card, download everything you've ever bought. That was seen badly enough, but at the same time I understand because they were on the verge of Switch 2 and, you know, keeping 3 platforms up simultaneously is a pain in the ass. And then they took down, you know, all the Wii U stuff at the same time. Technically 4 platforms, I guess, and I think they had shut down the Wii just a couple years before that, because no one really was on the Wii U, except for me. But stuff like that, I kind of get. But taking it to where you don't even own it anymore, to where it's not only can you not download it anymore, but if you did download it, it's just poof, gone. That's fucked up. Again, just buy the fucking physical media, but these days most of them don't have a disc drive, or they charge you $50 to $100 extra for a disc drive. You know, one they make in house, which is extra fucked up. But anyway, guys, continuing on, we're gonna move past this. This is fucked up. Sony has been guilty of a lot of this anti-user, anti-consumer stuff in the past. They are, with the exception of when that last guy, the guy before Phil Spencer, introduced Xbox One, I think it was, and said you had to be online for everything, considering a lot of people who had Xboxes were in rural communities and at best had shitty satellite internet. PlayStation has been the most anti-consumer. Nintendo's been petty betties too, but I think PlayStation is still the most anti-consumer, which sucks because until they ruined all their best franchises with shitty sequels, shitty woke sequels at that, they had the best console. I will always buy Nintendo because I love Nintendo games. But PlayStation had the best lineup, let's face it. The best modern lineup. The only place where you can play that first great Spider-Man game, except for the Speedball, Spinball, whatever that bitch's name was. She was awful. She was like Kathy Griffin when she was 19, which is probably the worst thing to ever possibly imagine. It's like, wipe that makeup off. You're a McDonald, not a whore. Anyway, continuing on to Mrs. OnHead.
Wake up, maggot! It's time for your annual
Maggot?
race war.
Ooh.
Oh, you didn't want to be in a race war? Well, too bad. You're in one. Your skin color is your uniform, soldier. Black people on this side, white people on this side, Italians. We'll figure it out later. Attention! Which one of you lily lickers mixed the white monster energy with the Kool-Aid pineapples? How many times do I have to tell you? No mixing. Now get suited up, soldier. You're heading into your first battle. The comment section of a Nick Fuentes Instagram reel. Godspeed.
You see how them she's beautiful, she's adorable. It is funny how her front teeth kind of slower in the middle of a sentence.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of I am your host, ShoeonHead. You may know me as Timu Boxy, or perhaps the woman who footmogged Hassan Piker. Thank you. Thank you. I know a few of you have come here.
It is pretty hilarious that because she made fun of how he wears all these ugly, retarded-looking, like designer T-shirts, and like he was wearing like $6,000 outfits. He started wearing suits that don't fit him. Like, dude, I'm all for you evolving, or for you realizing or being forced to realize your own shortcomings. But dude, get a suit that's fitted to you. Every man should have at least one suit. That being said, I don't have one. But
from that last video, so hello new friends, and old friends, please say hello to the new friends. Do not scare them away. One of the biggest things that happened when I was gone was the conclusion to the Karmelo Anthony trial. Now, for those of you who are unaware, for those of you who have no idea what has been going on, don't worry about it, kid. No, but what happened was last year during a Texas high school track meet, Karmelo Anthony, a 19-year-old student, and Austin Metcalf, a 17-year-old student, got into a heated dispute after Karmelo entered Austin's tent, which was like a rivalry school's tent. An argument followed, and then allegedly Karmelo said, "Touch me and see what happens," and so Austin shoved him.
Good morning,
and Karmelo
Shafty.
pulled a knife out, and yeah, Austin then passed away in his brother's arms. Court argued that that use of force with a knife was completely unjustified, that a single shove did not justify.
I tried to say Shafty and Shifty at the same time, but I ended up saying Shafty, and it sounded I'm not here yet, I apologize.
A deadly response. During the trial, jurors listened to witnesses' accounts of the events, reviewed video evidence, and after a few days, the jury found Karmelo Anthony guilty, and he was sentenced to 35 years in prison. And everyone accepted that outcome because they understand how the law works and they respect our justice system.
Hey, there's that crazy woman.
Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
That dude's a big fat fuck. Hey, good morning, Unica.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
These kinds of face-to-face, emotion-rising, shouting matches really do no good.
In this video, we are going to discuss the insane
You said something I don't like.
Karmelo Anthony trial, read some tweets, watch some TikToks, as well as debunk a bunch of misinformation because I am just tired of seeing the same ridiculous, regurgitated talking points repeated ad nauseum by hundreds and thousands of people just believing it as gospel, hyping themselves up into a race war. No, I am not kidding. That is how bad it is getting. Growing up, I was always told not to judge people based on their appearance, that it didn't matter what gender you were, what your sexuality was, didn't matter if you were short or tall or fat or thin. I was always told that skin color was not important.
And I was raised the same way. And You had two first comments? Nah, I didn't. The first one I saw was you saying, "Hi, shapeshifter." So this is the first two that let me pull up on another account. But this is the first one I saw. I mean, it's not like I have a lot of comments. But no, I was raised the same way, mostly by people always say I didn't raise my parents say I didn't raise a failure. No, the TV raised a failure, or a quitter or whatever. But no, like I learned all my stuff from the end of '90s TV shows. I learned something today, and then the music starts. It's just like we should judge people by this or this or this. And most of my friends were people from the big cities, L.A., Chicago, Detroit, New York, Kansas City, whose parents are trying to get them away from gangs. Some of them brought that gang mentality to little city in Arkansas. And the rest of them, just regular folk. We were sitting in the back. I was bored as hell in class, so I would sit in the back and just either sleep or cut up. And then do my tests, not my homework, because I'm stupid. No, because I'm smart but lazy. And, yeah. And these were all my friends. Most of my friends were either Vietnamese, Hispanic, black, a couple of crackers. Couple of them, okay. But, didn't judge them. We were just trying to make each other laugh, trying to outdo each other, and they were also copying off my test.
And it's not. But you know what is important? Your skin's health. So before we get into the video,
I mean, they
let's
paid
quickly
for
give
it.
a shout out to today's sponsor, Henson Shaving. It looks pellet and the clinical slightly a little.
Like her ad things are adorable.
The ad. Right. Now let's get back to the video.
No, of course not, Shoe. I didn't do that.
Let's not waste any more time and get straight into this, shall we? They found him guilty so fast right before Juneteenth. These folks playing in our faces. Karmelo's only crime was not allowing.
I like how. Notice a lot of the time, it's either people who look like they just got here, or someone who looks like they grew up with just a white mother. One of the septum theory white mothers at that.
Himself to get beat down by a white man.
You're mostly white.
Out of prison. That boy ain't getting out of the grave.
Yeah, this dude thinks he's a Black Panther. I love how these people will cosplay as 1960s activists, and most of them are too big of pussies to do anything themselves.
If he kept his hands to himself, he'd still be enjoying his white privilege today.
If he had gone to his school's tent, he wouldn't be in jail today. Like, what are we talking about? White people are not the victims of racism. You can't be a victim of a system you created. I didn't create anything. I didn't. People who looked kind of like me, but were probably from different countries and from much better families, created something. But see, and this kind of thing, a system that you created, them doing the exact same thing, that being like, what, we aren't all murderers. It's the same shit. Look, I don't think that all black people are murderers. I don't think that all Asian people are good at math. I don't think any of these things. Cracker's dead cracker. Because it's dipped by chocolate. Oh, I've actually used that pickup line. Anyway.
White people are not victims of racism. You can't be a victim of a system you created. Hey, 23-year-old white guy.
Sorry, that what you said also reminded me. Remember Eugene Levy in that really awful Bringing Down the House movie where Steve Martin went to the hood for some reason, and then you got Eugene Levy just going, he's like to, he says to Queen Latifah, I'd like to dip you in cheese and spread you over a cracker.
Who can't find a
I love Eugene Levy.
Did you know you created the entire system we're in right now, and therefore it's totally acceptable to hate you and be racist towards you? This is
Oh
the
yeah,
same
totally.
stupid shit they say to men, like, "Oh, you created the patriarchy." Like, who the fuck are you talking about? Joe Schmo working at Chipotle didn't create shit. The system isn't benefiting white people at all. It's not benefiting anyone except the rich and powerful. The racism equals prejudice plus power bullshit. Really one-shot at these people, huh? Oh.
Yeah, people changing definitions of words to random bullshit that makes no sense at all. It's just like, I always bring it back to this. The same people that called me the F slur for gay people 15, 20 years ago, now calling me a transphobe because I don't think you should do these things to the kids, are the same people who will look at me like upper middle class and upper class white people will look at me and tell me to check my privilege because they think I'm a conservative. One, I'm not a conservative. Two, I'm an actual liberal. I don't even know if I would even like to classify myself as that anymore because it takes too much explaining, and again, I'm lazy. But it bewilders me how short-sighted people can be. But they always want you to see complexity in their positions on things, even though they don't really have complexity. They just believe whatever is popular right now.
Child can be minding their business, get ambushed, bullied, and pushed around, and become the aggressor for protecting himself.
Yeah, that's not what happened. Only a small-brained, no frontal lobe having human can look at the facts, see all these things, and then just go by what people are saying on TikTok, which is this shit.
But he was quite literally not minding his own business. He was in a rival's team tent and was asked to leave like a dozen times. Witnesses say he started escalating it into a fight and then
Somebody wants to... Anyway.
stabbed someone in the fucking heart. That's not minding your business. Why did they hire that horrible lawyer? Had to be the worst defense in history. Absolutely no reason Karmelo shouldn't have testified. We gotta do better with who we hire.
And up until then, I completely agree with this. Why didn't the family use the $600, I think it was almost $700,000 that they got on their GoFundMe, GiveSendGo, whatever the fuck it was, and spend that on an attorney for their son? Oh, because they used it to move into a house that they couldn't afford and get a car that they couldn't afford, and then we're hoping that they could get more money for the appeal. Whoopsie. I will say his brother's a hustler. I mean, good on him, I guess. I'll never disrespect somebody's hustle. Do your thing, whatever. But at your brother's expense, at your son's expense, they didn't even go to any of their things, according to Austin Metcalf's father. They didn't go to the verdict reading or a bunch of the readings and stuff. They left him there by himself. And say what you want about Karmelo Anthony. Like, yeah, sure, he's a murderer, but the fact that his parents left him to do all this shit so they could go out and bloviate for attention and more money just kind of shows how we got in the situation in the first place. The only way that you could ever see Karmelo Anthony as a victim is because his parents are some of the shittiest fucking human beings in the world. And that's the most I'll be willing to give, but still, that doesn't condone, or I'm not alluding to anything to like he doesn't deserve to go to jail for murder. I'm just saying, like, it's sad all the way around. It 100% is. And even Austin Metcalf's father said that himself. It's horrible.
To represent us. Plenty of black lawyers in Texas.
Basically, 2 kids lost their lives, their entire lives, because one set of parents are shitty human beings, and they made 2 more shitty human beings.
His family raised like $1 million on GoFundMe and then blew it all on a new house and a Cadillac. So then they had to get a public defender. That baby was sentenced to 35 years?
That murderer. Though, yo, bro. Say what you want about X. Sometime...
I love the community note.
Yeah, sometime the community notes
that murderer was sentenced to
are on point. Base community noter.
Please carry more than a pocket knife. Get their asses before they can get you.
That's what he did. He got his ass. What are we talking about? Like, that is not the mindset we need to have here. Teaches parents the same thing that I was taught. Don't go where you're not wanted. Don't go if you're at a track meet, even if you know people at the other school, if it's not the main motherfuckers at that school, do not go hang out with your friends at the other school on the other side during a football game or a track meet or any of the things. Because some of these sports fans are freaking lunatics. Just look at what happened at the Knicks games when they were facing off against the Spurs recently.
What the hell do you mean get their asses before they can get you? That's literally what Karmelo did. He got Austin's ass. He killed him. Why the fuck are they acting like Karmelo was the one who died? 35 years on your first offense is over sentencing.
For murder.
Yeah, there has to be a retrial. This is blatant injustice. First offense.
What the injustice was that they lowered they lowered his bail. He was out on like probably 1/10 of the bail that he should have been on as a murderer because of public stigma and nothing else.
And the offense in question is murder. Your Honor, it was only his first murder. 35 years ago, killing a Nazi got you a Purple Heart, but now that a German American is president, it gets you a life sentence.
What the fuck? And I agree, but with this right here a little bit, but mostly because his parents abandoned him. And now he's going to come out being worse than ever because you don't go to jail and get better. There should be the punishment section, and that can entail whatever. We can all vote on whatever that means. And then the actual rehabilitation to where we can release you to the public and not expect you to do shit again.
All white people deserve no mercy. Now Austin Metcalf, a 17...
And how can you post that shit? How can you post that shit? And also 35 years ago? What the fuck? How long ago do people think things happened?
...year-old is a Nazi because he was white.
Also that.
35 years ago. Does this dude think World War II was in 1991? Black Americans, arm yourselves. This country is officially a terrorist state of white supremacists. You have no reason to abide by or follow any more laws in this country. Law enforcement and these politicians are all terrorists. Let it all fall. Time for...
See, and this is ridiculous. There are already too many cases of people not being prosecuted heavily enough for murders. The dude that killed Irina Zarutska, pretty sure he's back out on the street because he wasn't deemed fit to stand trial again.
For judgment. Just as I suspected. Schizophrenia. I recommend logging the f*** off. Do these people just live?
Speaking of logging, I gotta say, all these costumes, ShoeonHead's husband is a lucky man.
In a completely different reality, a guy gets put in prison for murder, and they're like, wow, what's the point of even following the law anymore? Having a black son gotta be the tops of fears. I'm going insane. It was the white son that was murdered. Why are they acting like the black son was murdered? Why are you scared of having a black son in this context? Oh, I'm so scared.
Like, and I kind of feel like Austin Metcalf in this situation was Brendan Fraser from what's that movie where his family locked himself in a bomb shelter for years and years and years, and then he came up and he's like, my star is a black person. Shit, it had Alicia Silverstone in it. My mom loves that movie. Anyway, it's kind of like that. He seemed like a very 90s douchey football player guy. And then, boom, modern day. Modern day, no frontal lobe hit him right in the chest. It's horrible.
My son will stab someone and go to jail one day. Like, what? What? It's only self-defense when a black kid dies. Literally, multiple witnesses, including black witnesses, including Karmelo's
his own friends, yeah,
said that Karmelo was the aggressor in the situation. Also, just in general, murder is not the acceptable punishment for a shove, for a push. That's not how that works. 50,000 likes on that bullshit, by the way. 50,000 people saw that and were like, hell yeah. Black kids are the only kids who can't afford to make mistakes without dire consequences.
Murder.
Your Honor, it was a mistake. My client did a little oopsie poopsie. A little fucky wucky ooh woo, if you will. Black people are held to a higher standard than every other race. We are expected to be perfect, while others are given grace, excuses, and... Hey, stop. Just a
murder.
That this is all in context of the Karmelo Anthony situation. So the held to a higher standard, in this case, the higher standard of...
I mean, everybody murders at least one dude.
I'm sorry, okay. Go on. One mistake by a black person gets used to judge an entire community. Oops, I fell and my knife accidentally stabbed your heart.
Austin fell onto Karmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The cut was only 2.
I'm crashing out. I'm crashing.
Because of his rib cage. You daft fuck. The rib cage. Ooh, oh, it was a 5.5-inch blade, but it only went 2 inches in. What? All these people and the way that they talk, this pseudo intellectual way of speaking. It's just like, what? if he only went in 2 inches out of a 5.5-inch blade, was it really intent to kill my brother? Like, come on now.
Please let the next one be somewhat rational. Y'all gentlemen are so fucking dumb. Y'all really thought
Like how she says gentlemen for this shit.
that he was gonna get away with stabbing that kid to death. I can tell a lot of you were raised by hoes. Finally, a normal, sane person. A strong
Basically.
black father
Oh.
tells you early that you can't get away with the same shit whites do. Oh god damn it, had me in the first half. When do white people get away with stabbing? What is this? Where do these people live? Earth 2! Culture. When you get called for jury duty, do that shit. Make sure you do your part in serving justice. Every black defendant in every court everywhere is Karmelo Anthony.
2 things. One, I agree with the sentiment of the first bit. Well, no, not the lying part, because it's implying that this person wants them to lie. But it's because they answered the questions and said that they could not be impartial. That's what they're looking for during jury selection. Impartiality. And they pick them at random. And the only black people that they got themselves out of there because they said they couldn't be impartial. Because I think one of them was a teacher that said they couldn't be impartial. And also, you spelled Karmelo Anthony wrong 3 times. The basketball player or whatever is going to be like, what? Why are they spelling it like me? I didn't do this shit.
Every black defendant in every court everywhere is Karmelo Anthony.
No, they're
every black defendant in every court case everywhere is a murderer. Are you sure that's what you want to go with? I love how he's basically like,
Yes.
go do jury duty so you can go blindly support any black person regardless of what they did. What the like? I don't support every white person. Some of you are dumb.
Yes.
How wild is this? What's
A lot.
Like a cop kills black
Septum
guy
theory.
thing where like there might be some debate about like police brutality and over policing and things like that. No, this was just straight up a black kid stabbed a white kid, and they're losing their minds because he's going to prison over it. Fascinating.
Karmelo Anthony had been white, not only would he have not been convicted, there'd have never been charges. The only reason Karmelo Anthony was convicted was because we are a broken, fucking bigoted country, and Karmelo Anthony was black.
Wow, thanks for the input, gay Colonel Sanders. I fucking hate the Yellowstone hicklib bit. Oh, I'm a big tough country cowboy. Y'all better not say them slurs around here. Yeehaw! Wow, just freaking wow. Disgusting. This is not justice.
Wow.
This is
Just
trying to
wow.
make an example. Dear white people.
It's
don't let
justice.
verdict fool you.
That coming from someone who used to drug people and rob them. Who talks about it openly. Like, oh, I was so silly when I was young, y'all. I used to drug people and rob them. And probably sometimes get a few punches in.
You'll still get fucked up playing the Austin games. Don't let this verdict of a guy who stabbed someone fool you. You're still gonna get
I love how Austin's the one playing the game. He was just being an average teenager. And Karmelo Anthony goes and sits in their school's space. They're like, hey, man, can you go sit with your own school? Like, you know, it's just this school under here. Go over there. Touch me and see what happens. Like that bullshit, like wannabe tough guy, like I'm about to do a world star hip hop video kind of bullshit. You know, pussy behavior.
stabbed. What? Strong suspicion that a lot of pro Karmelo stuff I see here is some psyop. Bro. This is what I tried to tell myself for like 6 years about the online left. It's all a CIA psyop from the billionaires to make leftism look as unappealing as possible to the working class. Bro.
I used to think that too. But the fucked up part is, where I'm from, most of the people are these people that you see online. At least the left half. I have still yet to meet any of these right-wing, insane people. I haven't even met a single white person, a single right person who likes Marjorie Taylor Greene. I haven't met a single one of them. I'm from the Bible Belt. But I've met plenty of people who think it's fine to kill white people. I've met plenty of people who think it's fine to kill conservatives. Most of them are on my personal Facebook with my real name. Bro, and also the way she does this right here makes me think of the shoulder touch from Spider-Verse.
Of course, an all-white jury found a black boy guilty for defending himself. Fuck you, racist white pieces of shit. Fuck you, racist white pieces of shit. That sounds extremely racist. Black people can't be racist, stupid hoe. It was not an all-white jury. There were
Yes, you
Asian
can.
people, there were Hispanic people, and the black people they did ask to do jury duty in this case turned it down because they admitted they would be too biased. Like, they literally said they would just vote not guilty because Karmelo is black. On one hand, I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
Bruh.
what the f?
If they say, can you be fair? Don't say, no, I'm not finna put a black man in jail. Don't say that. Don't say, I hate white people and I don't care what he did. Don't do that. That's what people were doing in this case. Okay, and then everybody's like in an uproar because there's no black people on the jury when damn near half of the black people who could have been on the jury canceled themselves out. You know? Don't do that. Y'all be regular.
Overruled.
Just be regular.
Just be
That's
regular.
right. Get in there
Just
and
be
lie to the
regular.
court so you can free a person because he murdered a white guy. Incredible stuff. Also, I like how they said.
I mean, come on,
just
guys.
be
Everyone
regular.
murders
Just
one
be
white guy.
regular. Just get on the jury so you can free the murderer, then return to acting irregular. This case is really affecting me, making me want to go to law school and fight for my people. I'm sorry, I'm confused. Your people being murderers? Is that what you're talking about? Murderers? Your people being murderers? Also, if by some miracle you happen to get into law school, you'll be disappointed to find out that intentionally stabbing someone and killing them is in fact murder, regardless of what your skin color is. And there were some people coming at me like, oh, I bet you'll defend Chud the Builder. And like, first of all, who the f is Chud the Builder? This is how I know I'm getting old. They keep making these random fucking streamers in a vat overnight and then like releasing them. Did you hear about Pee Boy 57? Like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't know who that.
Okay, so as far as Pee Boy here, Chud the Builder basically just records himself going around in black neighborhoods to black people and calling them the N-word. It's basically all he does. It was going to happen eventually. Am I saying he should have happened or whatever? No, but when you fuck around, you find out. Simple as that. Look, I know it skyrocketed him because people want to... Honestly, most people probably watch Chud the Builder for the same reason that people go to NASCAR. They want to see shit happen. People don't go to NASCAR for the racing, for the thrill and the sport of racing. They go for the crashes. That's what people probably watch Chud the Builder for. To wait to see till something happened, till he got fucked up. And he got shot. Oh, no. No, he got attacked and then he shot someone, I think. From my understanding, and again, I keep meaning to do research on this, but I really don't care about Chud the Builder. From what I hear, he was coming out of a court case for something. He was coming out of court for something, and he was attacked, and he shot someone. I don't think it was on one of his actual streams. And if that were to happen, like if he runs up to someone and antagonizes them and calls them the N-word and all this stuff in a group of just black people and just calls a bunch of them the N-word and he gets attacked, that's on him. And if he starts shooting them for attacking him, for going out there and daring them to hit him, I still say throw the book at him. I don't care. That shit's ridiculous. That shit is the situation that people think the Austin Metcalf situation is, which it isn't. Ugh. It makes me make this face.
That is, if Chud the Builder killed someone, or in this case, attempted to kill someone, then he should face consequences for that. Yes. Okay, your turn. Should Karmelo Anthony face consequences? No? Oh, that's weird. Looks like only one of us is the hypocrite here. See, I am not like you. I have a functioning brain and an IQ of probably maybe over 100. I can look at things on a case-by-case basis and not blindly support
What that
or attack
mean?
something like a mindless drone. Let's go see what they're saying over on Blue Sky, shall we? Fellow white people. Never mind.
Do you remember the fellow white people video from ShoeonHead's early career? We might revisit that at some point. Just some of the stuff that radicalized me.
I'm done again. Bye. Stay out of black people's mentions about Karmelo Anthony. We are the reason not one black juror was seated. We are the reason that an appeal filed on those
No, we are not the reason of that. The black jurors that were there are the reason that happened. What the fuck are you talking about?
grounds will surely fail.
No, the fact that he very clearly murdered this person and it was premeditated is the reason he won't get an appeal. And we are not in Jim Crow.
We are the reason Jim Crow is once again
You
law
don't
of
know
the
what
land.
Jim Crow.
Oh my
You
God.
don't know what Jim Crow
What does
is.
this country come to when a man can't freely murder another man in cold blood and get away with it? Literally Jim Crow. Yeah, white people cannot be trusted after this trial with Karmelo Anthony. Honestly, that 30
Again, Karmelo Anthony stabbed someone and killed them.
5-year sentence coming down on the teenager Karmelo Anthony felt like a proxy for a lynching.
Okay, he thinks it's a proxy for a lynching. Other people are saying that the stabbing was to prevent a lynching. A lot of people projecting a lynching here.
Karmelo Anthony defended himself against 2 white supremacists. Now that black
Now they're
people
white
stand up for
supremacists.
themselves, white fragility is taking over.
White
He simply can't
fragility.
handle it. He's
That was literally a they them white dude. I bet that person was born a dude.
saved himself from being lynched, and now he has to spend decades in prison.
See? What lynching? What lynching?
In racist country. Huh? He was being lynched? Yes. Do these people live in the Netflix adaptation version of reality or something? What is going on?
Stabby, jail. No stabby, no jail.
The only reason
No
Karmelo was
stabby.
convicted is because he was black. If this was a white boy, there would never be charges files. I decree that the people who was involved with this case will begin to reap the unjust decision upon their on head to 1,000 generation. All you bigoted racist people. An all-white jury. Of course Karmelo Anthony would be convicted. Not an all-white jury. Yes, an all-white jury. Stop trying to make excuses for race.
Nah. We just paid attention. And again, this is people who paid no attention to anything but TikTok about this shit. It's the same thing, only I don't think TikTok existed during the Kyle Rittenhouse bit. But people got all their shit from YouTube and the YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels and shit like that, Instagram. People are comparing this to Kyle Rittenhouse. They're saying, oh, he white, he kill, he got off. He black, he kill, he not got off. Racism. No. Kyle Rittenhouse went there to perform first aid and to defend a business, which why would you hire a 17-year-old kid to defend a business with a gun? I'll never know, but it's not illegal. And the gun didn't go across state lines. Anyone who said that he traveled there so to a place he didn't live are retarded people who have never lived on a border of a state. A lot of people, especially if it's the biggest town within a few hours, travel across a state line to work. Sure, it sucks for your taxes, but it's just kind of how it is. He was chased. People said they were going to kill him. They were actively beating the shit out of him. Okay, he was trying to run for help, and he only shot them when they posed a threat. There's even a clip where the guy who survived pulled a gun on Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle pulled his gun up. The other guy put his gun down. Kyle didn't shoot him then. It was only after he shot the next guy who tried to beat him over the head with the skateboard. And yes, skateboards have a big solid metal frame on it so you can land on it without it breaking. And, I mean, you know, or the axles or whatever the fuck, the things that the wheels are on. And then the same guy pulled his gun up again, and Kyle Rittenhouse, like a freaking G, shot him in the forearm of the hand that had the gun in it. Like a fucking boss. So it's completely different. This dude wanted to sit under a tent that wasn't his. Maybe he knew somebody who wasn't the main dude on the team. They said leave, and even his own friend said, yeah, he said leave, and Karmelo was being kind of a dick and saying, try to start something, blah, 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 blah. And then the dude said, okay, let's get out of here. And you can even see in the video, the altercation was he leaned forward, and then the dude stabbed him in the chest and then ran off.
Racism. No.
'Cause he's a
Not
bitch.
an all-white jury. Who are they trying to convince? Other people or themselves? Anyone defending Karmelo Anthony knows that they're not defending him in good faith. Karmelo is obviously guilty of a murder that he intentionally instigated. Defending murders like this only hurts the black community. We need to hold ourselves accountable and hold ourselves to a higher standard. Oh my god, a normal person on Blue Sky. Bro, what are you doing? Get out of there. Go, run. An all-white jury in Texas convicted Karmelo Anthony of murder. Proof that the U.S. never ended
not all
the
right.
practice of lynching.
It's not all white.
They let the courts do it instead. You don't have to support what Karmelo Anthony did to recognize the problem with sentencing a child to spend 35 years in prison based off of the deliberations of an all-white jury.
This dude probably wanted Kyle Rittenhouse to hang, just so you know.
Said it again, award. Said it again, award. All-white jury. All-white jury. It's time to play Horseshoe Theory. Contestant number 1.
It's time to play TLDR.
The tweet. Stop sending your kids to these race schools.
Oh, stop sending your kids to these black schools. Definitely a white supremacist.
Oh, I'm sorry. The tweet is stop sending your kids to these white schools. And it came from the account Dapper Domo, who is black. You know what that means? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Into the pit! Stop bringing non-black people into black spaces. Teach your kids to defend themselves by any means possible. Keep your black kids in black spaces as much as possible. Keep your black children away from these devils.
If we had segregation still, none of this would have happened.
And again, a lot of people have been trying to push this for a very long time. When the new Black Panther Party really started coming back into prominence during the start of the BLM movement, that one dude at Mizzou started a whole thing where he wanted segregated dorms, and this is why a lot of the time this is where you got the Black National Anthem. This is where you got black-only graduation ceremonies. I love how, and Malcolm X said it best, never trust the white liberal. This is someone who will pretend to be your friend and will actively go out and pursue things against you. He said something to that effect. And he said it much better than me because he was a much smarter man than me. But he was right. The white liberals are actively pushing people in the direction, and now they have black liberals actively asking for segregation. I kid you not.
He wouldn't have had no interactions with any white boy because we would have been in an all-black school.
We are going to reverse engineer segregation, aren't we? But wokely. We don't want those evil white people drinking out of the same water fountain as us, am I right? Honestly, my honest, real opinion about this, my hot take of the video, everybody, here it comes. Lukewarm, microwaved, 4-day-old mac and cheese take, here it comes. If they want to go make their own, like, all-black schools, all-black towns, they should be allowed to. Go for it. Black people want to go create Wakanda? They should be able to, but white people should be allowed to create Agartha. If people want to willingly segregate themselves, they should be allowed to go ahead and do that. Dead ass, who cares? Everyone else can live in a desegregated society. They can go have their ethno-states. But you know, there is only one side that will not be able to do that. I always wondered though, let's say they do make a white ethno-state. What counts as white? Because 100 years ago, I would not have counted as white. I'm Ellis Island mystery meat, you know this. Is there like a one-drop rule? Do they like whip out the eye chart at the gate and they're like, ah yes, A10s, you may enter. Is Brittany Venti allowed in the white ethno-state?
God, I hope so. I hope so.
Very Aryan at this point. She white mogs me. Anyway, we are getting distracted. Where were we? Ah yes, hell.
Sorry, Brittany
I'm
Venti's
black.
hot.
I haven't
I don't
stabbed
care.
anyone in the chest after being asked to leave a tent. I'm not in prison, I'm free. It's not hard to not commit a crime. Listen, I appreciate the sentiment here, but how did we get to a point where this is like a breath of fresh air? Let's check the replies. Hopefully people are agreeing. Shut your hoe ass up. Emmett Till didn't commit a crime either. What happened to him? You're not black. You're not black. You're a boy, you ain't black. You may be black, but you ain't black.
See, and this is the thing. It's okay to say this, but if anyone else says it, oh, you're saying we're all the same? I mean, you're kind of saying you're all the same. And then if anyone says differently, you call them, almost said it.
Black. Yes, because being black is supporting all black people everywhere, regardless of what.
Which, by the way, is the same word that was often used by white supremacists against black people back in the day. That's what they called them on Forrest Gump, even. What are we doing?
They have done. All the normal black people are just called, like, pick-me's. They're called pick-me's for having a brain and not going along with this race grievance bullshit. Every time, like, they speak out about this, they're just called the C word, you know what I mean? The term for this animal. Is that a slur? Like, I know what that's like to a degree. Granted, it's over me making fun of, like, women on TikTok. But, like, I know what it's like watching people in your community act like fucking morons. I feel you, my brothers. Oh my god. Editor. Edit that out. Edit that out. By the way, if you want an uncensored, uncucked version of this video and all the videos a day early, sign up to be a member on my Patreon. Link down below. All Patreon members get the uncensored, uncucked version. You can hear me say fucking shit and anyway, let's get back to the video.
I want to hear that.
This is a racist ass country. We're in a racist ass state. This is a racist ass court. There ain't nothing else to talk about.
First of all, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was staring at her titties the whole time. Those are giant titties. Just left the courthouse.
Yeah, they were
any white
giant.
person
Of course,
can
she was
get
kind
it
of
for
giant
real.
herself. She had a
I
lot of
don't give
neck.
a f- it. Dig Austin Metcalf up and stab his ass.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I could save my teeth or my hair, I probably would have done that too. But bruh, just let the braids go. Just shave your head. Just do like Dave Chappelle and a lot of other people do when their hair starts to go. Like I do. Just shave your head. Shave your head. That's a lot of forehead. You could rent it out for advertising space in the meantime, till you raise the money to save what's left of it. But bruh, come on, look at that. Look at that. You can see what's on his mind. Like he can project his thoughts. Just to the surface of his skin here, though. But it's written in the same color as his forehead. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done.
Yes, again. Apparently, a bunch of people on TikTok are doing the Austin Bop, where they dance
Which is
to a
disgusting.
song made about Austin Metcalf's murder while reenacting the stabbing. They were also making AI photos of themselves pissing on Austin's grave.
And this was okay. None of these were taken down, as far as I'm aware. I've looked them up. They're still there.
You know, I was always told not to judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And boy, am I judging these people by the content of their character. What the f***? These people are freaks. Martin Luther King Jr. would be rolling in his grave looking at all this. Karmelo Anthony, a black teenager, has been sentenced to 35 years in prison after being convicted by a jury with no black jurors. Oh, God, here we go again. No black jurors. Who is this moron? Who is this idiot? Oh! Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter. Wonderful. Awesome. I'm done. I'm done. It's gonna
Agreed.
be 12 years.
Agreed.
But I'm done.
No, I'm done.
Channel's
That's fucking
Video's
horrible.
Over. This officially broke me. I'm done. Go watch Moist Critical. Go watch Asmongold. I'm done.
And right off the bat, man, free Karmelo.
What the fuck is
Straight
this
up.
dude's
I
face?
don't give a fuck about no white lies. F that cracker. We smoking on that Austin pack.
This poor guy. This poor baby, either his mama sneezed right when his face was going through, or she dropped him on his face when he was a baby, and they just kind of did their best. Oh my God.
I don't care anymore because it ain't no good in this. It ain't nothing good that's in this. But they trying to lay the law down. All that. Y'all gotta give it up. Y'all gotta give it up.
This
Like,
dude
I
thinks
don't
he's saying
care
something.
anymore because it ain't no good in that shit. It ain't nothing good that's in this shit. But they try to lay the law down up that shit. Y'all gotta give it up. Y'all gotta give it up. Beautifully said. Thank you, sir.
There isn't a black American on earth that is surprised by what just happened to Karmelo Anthony. Now,
Because they know the legal system works, and when you kill someone, you go to jail.
not one black
no.
face in that jury box, not one peer, not one person who has ever navigated
I ain't gonna lie, I thought the microphone was a little doll of herself.
this country in melanated skin. And if you think that doesn't matter, then you haven't been paying attention to the last 400 years of American history.
You need to pay a row to the bottom. You need to pay attention to the bottom row of your teeth. Cause damn, you need to go find the last the two dudes ago's dentist and get yourself fixed out, girl. I mean, you spend a lot of time on your hair and getting all your things blacked out, but you need to get your teeth back out.
Because you don't want to. This is not new. This is the system working exactly as it was designed.
Agreed. People who killed people go to jail.
First of all, the Black Panther LARP is cringe. It's gotta go. This isn't the 1960s. You aren't protesting segregation. You're making a fucking TikTok video, okay? Second of all, this is the system working exactly how it was designed. Yeah, I'd hope. When you kill someone, you go to jail. Like,
see?
Am I missing something?
Base
It was actually a refreshing change that the system was working for once. I'm tired of waking up to headlines like, man who raped corpse on subway gets 5 years in jail. Like, I'm not kidding. That was like a real headline I saw the other day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it since nobody else can say it. Austin.
I'm gonna say what everybody else is saying, but act like nobody else is saying it. Mainstream opinion.
Glad your ass dead. Austin, fuck his family, and I hope they get this message to have a up day in here, Austin. I hope you over there burning up.
I'm so proud.
I hope you lose your job at McDonald's. You clearly supposed to be on the clock. You got your headset on, bruh.
Proud of y'all for kicking that white boy. See, they not used to this happening to them, y'all.
I mean, we're getting used to it.
My only problem is it should happen more. Can we please pick a day we just while you grew up? Matter of fact, I wish I knew what a little white boy grave was so I can go spit on that bitch.
How the are any of these videos still up?
Yeah.
There were so many of these videos. Are these people like CIA psyops? I'm doing it again. Oh. This got so bad that people were actually going out and assaulting white people.
Do it again. Say,
Obviously, I
hey.
can't show these videos, but there were multiple incidences of this.
Yeah,
These
dude thought this guy was on the jury.
Live in a delusional alternate reality, and they're becoming radicalized to take revenge for shit that isn't even f***ing happening. But like every other f***ing week, I have to read another stupid New York Times article about how like 20-year-old white boys are being radicalized into the alt-right because they watch Jordan Peterson or some shit. Like, f*** you. And like people have been so brainwashed to believe that they're racist because they post like edgy memes. No, you're not f***ing racist with your 4chan memes. These people are racists. You're like a level 1, maybe level 2 racist. These are like level 9 racists. You have no idea what racism is. I've seen your friend groups. Racist friend groups do not care what race you are as long as you are also racist. These people are significantly more racist than you will ever be. Hell, even the KKK, level 10 racists, wore hoods to conceal their identity. These people are out here posting this full government name and face.
I got 5 boys. I don't know why. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more.
I deadass got to look at my sweet innocent son one day and explain to him that people hate us simply because we were born black. What am I supposed to tell my son? I don't f***ing know. Not to kill people? Like, okay, sorry. I don't know what it's like to be black, okay? I don't know. Maybe it's a completely different experience that I will never understand. But in this case...
Yeah, from day one, your parents will tell you you're a victim. That's something I can actually relate to. People always told me, well, my parents always told me that I'll be hated because my uncle was on the prosecuting attorney team, and a lot of people will hate me for that. People will look at me differently because my dad's handicapped. People will look at me different because my sister is crazy. And so on and so forth. Because I'm poor. So I kind of understand that bit of it. Being told from day one that you're going to be looked at differently. And not given any kind of context or any kind of way to get around that. Just being like, hey, you're a freak. You're going to be different. People won't like you. Good luck out there, bro. Of course, these are the same parents who, right before graduation, said, hey, your dad and I are getting divorced. See ya. Have fun at graduation. And then they didn't go to my graduation.
Hating Karmelo because he killed someone. I basically said this on Twitter, and some liberal account was like, remember when Shoe was a leftist? Ah yes, the famous leftist policy, being pro-murder. I remember back when Shoe...
Yeah, do you remember when the left had principles? Neither do I, because it's been so fucking long. It's been over 12 years since a lot of the left had any kind of principle. Honestly, it's been since late 2000s, early 2010s. And that's being generous, since the left had any real principles. And it's just getting worse. The crazies are getting crazier because no one's checking them. Hopefully, what I just saw in a headline for that Chud Benny Johnson's video that said the regular Democrats, the Democrat establishment, and I never thought I'd root for the freaking establishment on Democrat side, are trying to reel in the commies.
ShoeonHead was pro-murder. Silly me! How could I fall so far? Leftism isn't about wealth inequality or workers' rights, no. It's about letting black people stab white people. Clearly. To be completely honest, I have seen what being a good leftist is to you people, and with all due respect, you fucking no thank you.
We also know now that yes, Karmelo Anthony may have had a tool in his backpack that no, he shouldn't have brought it
Knife.
to a track meet.
Knife.
But it was there. It had
Knife.
a 3.5-inch blade.
Knife.
But also in that backpack, he had snacks. He had school puzzles, and he had a cross.
Why didn't he pull the cross out? Why didn't he pull the puzzles out and be like, hey, man, you want to do some of these puzzles with me? I don't know why I made him Mike Tyson. You want to do some of these puzzles with me? You want to look at the cross?
Honor, yes, the defendant may have had a knife.
He had
but
snacks.
He also had Cool Ranch Doritos. I rest my case.
I mean, just in case he got hungry after all the stabbing.
Real lawyer, by the way. That woman is a real lawyer. There were thousands and thousands of videos and tweets just like this. You probably get the point. These weren't just like
retards.
Cherry-picked. They were everywhere. But it wasn't just Twitter nobodies and blue sky nobodies. There was also sitting Congress people saying this insane shit.
Black women live in fear and agony every single day.
You don't.
A fear and agony that I promise you, the Metcalfs probably never spent a day living that way.
Yes, someone's teenage.
I can almost guarantee you that you never spend a day living that way. You yourself, you seem like a suburbanite. Okay, that's what you seem like. You seem like you had a house on the hill, or you were a suburbanite, or something. You went to a great school. I mean, you're a Congress member who says a lot of really dumb shit, and people call it brave and stunning and brilliant, which goes to show you how retarded we've become as a society.
Son was murdered, but please keep in mind the real victims here: black women.
I don't know what he had.
It was like it seemed like it was a.
I don't know what he had.
Almost like
I don't know what he had.
Like with like with the little scissors and everything and whatever. So it was small.
No, it was not. It was a 5-inch blade. It was your common folding knife, which is a knife. It's not a Swiss Army knife with the scissors.
Your Honor, the knife my client used.
She's been drinking that scissor.
What? By the way, I've not seen a single Democrat politician come out and disavow this idiot. So until then, I'm just going to assume they all agree. What's funny is they can't come out and disavow it because they'll all be attacked and called racist, and they know it. This was a viral Substack written by a university professor. Are you ready for this? Dear Jeff Metcalf, your son is dead because you failed to teach him that black boys have boundaries. Yesterday evening, Jeff Metcalf...
Dear Anthony family, your son is in jail because you failed to teach him that murder is bad. That you failed to teach him that he don't need to go in people's spaces he don't know. What are we talking about here?
The father of Austin Metcalf used his victim impact statement to address Karmelo Anthony directly after he was sentenced to 35 years after the court treated his act of survival as murder. The elder Metcalf reportedly described Austin as a boy, twin, son, leader, true warrior. He remembered him as a baby grabbing his finger. He talked about teaching him to fish, watching him take his first buck, and seeing him grow up too fast. He spoke of a scholarship created in Austin's memory, and said his family has been robbed. And right there, his own words, Jeff Metcalf told on himself.
How?
In your own memorial language, you told us about the kind of white boyhood Austin was raised inside. It was a boyhood steeped in conquest language, hunting rituals, warrior fantasies, masculine toughness, and the romance of force. You told us about a child praised for not just being kind, curious, gentle, or careful, but for becoming a leader and a warrior in a racist culture where those words too often mean dominance. This...
Huh? Retard language.
Psycho saw a grieving father describe his son as a leader and a warrior and freak the fuck out because his son is white and therefore that's like white supremacy or some shit. In their world, white people are like only allowed to hate themselves, right? That's why libs are often the way that they are, just like absolute cucks, just like rolling over and showing their bellies. Haha, white people can't dance. Haha, white people, like, they don't season their food. Because being anything other than that gets treated like this. Reminder that this is a professor in a college teaching students right now, and you wonder why people are the way that.
And look, we should be able. Everyone should be able to joke about themselves. I agree. Like I literally can't dance, not because I'm white, but because I never just don't have the natural talent for it. Because people have talent for things naturally. Some things come to people as easily as breathing, and then there's me dancing. That's not me hating myself for my whiteness. That's just me accepting facts about myself. Everyone should be able to do this. Men, women, gay, straight, whatever gender you see yourself as, except the made-up ones because those are extra silly and too silly for me to recognize. There are no they-thems. There are no gender fluids other than the ones that come out during sexy times. Sorry, continuing.
That they are. I swear we had it made in the 90s. I swear that was like peak normalcy. Do you feel that way? Maybe I'm just like a stupid millennial like nostalgia because I was a child back then and didn't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like race relations were better back then because it was all like, oh, we don't see color, and then they flipped it and they were like, actually, if you don't see color, you're racist. You have to acknowledge your white privilege and you're a colonizer. Like, what the I feel like my worldview's just been shattered. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean we can't just all be in a circle and sing Kumbaya? What is this? Like, I was always taught from my parents, from my teachers, like, we shouldn't judge people on their skin color, blah, 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 blah. And like, were these people just not taught that? Were they not taught that? I feel like they were just taught from a young age, like, white people bad, like, it was just hammered into their fucking heads. And like, honestly, like, white people get told that in like university. Like, they go to college and they get told, white people are bad, white people are bad. It's really upsetting that a family had to bury their child, and it's all being overshadowed by.
And there is one thing, I can't remember who said it to me. I don't know. And the sad thing is, I watch so many things for the show and for politics in general, and then also anime, and then I have a lot of conversations with people in person. I can't ever remember who said something that struck me. I need to start actually using that notebook that I carry around. Someone said, I don't want my hatred or my life experience to affect my children. They said that they don't want the hatred that they feel towards a certain group of people to affect their kids. This was a black person speaking. That they want their kids to form their own opinions about white people, about themselves and who they are, and all these other things. And I thought it was profound. I thought it was, and it's sad that just having that base opinion is so based. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the fact that this person is just a normal fucking person, or what should be a normal fucking person, is huge. Look, we try to warn our progeny, our offspring, about things that we experienced in life. But a lot of the time, we'll just download them with our own insecurities and our own shortcomings, or we'll hate our parents so much that we'll just try to do everything the exact opposite and fail to acknowledge that our parents did a couple of things right. I mean, even my parents weren't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they did a lot of things right, or at least as good as they could, and looking back, I can recognize that. Now, I never got a chance to forward what I learned onto another person. I mean, I did kind of. I mean, I've been a stepdad and an uncle and all that, but never got the full experience. Never got the full 18 years, and that's kind of sad. I would have loved to have started One Piece when I was younger, and then get someone else addicted to it, and then watch it with them for 18 years, only for it to not be finished yet. Uh, but a lot of people hate their parents so much that they do everything the exact opposite. And I keep bringing up my one old friend that fucked up her entire life because she hated her mother for being a hardworking single mother, just trying to do her best to make sure there was a roof over her kids' heads and make sure they went to school and did their homework and all that. Went a little aggro sometimes, yeah. But because her daughters were stupid and made the absolute worst possible decisions, because they had no real supervision because mom was working 2 jobs to try to make up for how badly she had lived her life. But they always had a roof. They always had food. They always had clothes. And they were loved. They really were. But you don't always see it. Sometimes you have to step outside yourself and see what your situation really holds. And this person does not have custody of any of their 3 kids because they care more about going on vacays once a year than actually being a parent to their kids. Like I said, we download all of our insecurities on people instead of just saying, hey, the world's not perfect. You have to be careful. But there's a lot of great things. There's a lot of beauty to be seen. There's a lot of love to be had. And there's more than just hatred in this world. And if you fill your kids and say that all they're going to do is experience hardships because of something that they can't control, I mean, what the hell else do you expect? When they turn out to be shitty people who stab people at track meets because, oh, I'm going to do what I want to do.
Insane people trying to make it about race. In a normal world, it wouldn't be about race, but we don't live in a normal world. I would like to believe a majority of people don't believe in some, like, civil war, race war thing and still believe in the kumbaya bullshit. Like, I just want to be like, okay, this is just a minority of crazy people on the internet. At least that's what I tell myself. So that was that video. Hopefully you got some enjoyment out of my brain breaking. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to my Patreon, link down below. We have started doing Patreon only live streams. The last one was a lot of fun, so I would love to see you there at the next one. And I will see you guys soon with a new video.
Nah, base video. Again, ShoeonHead was one of the first people that I started watching. We don't live in a normal world. No, I agree. But then again, it's the world we have. So what's normal, really? Like, I understand the world of 10, 20 years ago. It seems a lot better than it is today because in a lot of ways it was. But again, the de-evolution of mankind has kind of spiraled us down into that. A lot of people took the lessons that they learned from watching a lot of media and such back then, and made good of it, and a lot of them did the opposite. I don't know, man. I miss being younger. I miss when things seem simpler. When people could just be friends and not have to worry about shit like this. But nowadays, God, people are having midlife crises at like 22. like me, I already got my midlife crisis, over with. It lasted for about 15 years. Starting at 25. By the time I hit 40, I could give a fuck. But no, just go out there. And it's going to be different for you, Yanuka, and I don't know what your situation is, Shapeshifter, being where you're from. But at least where I'm from, don't go to certain neighborhoods after dark. Don't go to certain parts of the cities after dark. Don't go down alleyways by yourself. These days, I wouldn't even do it. And I did it for most of my youth because I'm over 6 foot tall I was in decent shape, and I know how to handle myself, and I walk like it. But I don't know if I would anymore. We spend most of our times disconnected from other people, and the very few times that we're not, and this is mostly my former friend groups. Most of the time we just talk about how hard we have it. And I've seen people. I'm gonna start a segment to where I got a couple of friends who are really lost in the sauce. I'm just gonna start sharing some of their posts and kind of scratching their name out because I don't want them to get any hate because it's someone who's done a lot for me in my life. And I'm not gonna make any excuses for him, but he's done a lot for me personally, so I'm not gonna put his name out there or anything. But I'm gonna start sharing some of his posts and just rip on him and have a lot more harsh words than I do for him when I talk to him, when I actually talk directly to him. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna share his screen name. I'm not gonna share his real name. But yeah, no, he's a black dude, and he's what's it called? He's bisexual, I guess. But he's had 2 white wives, and he's a drummer. He was my boss, and he took a chance on me when he didn't have to. And he's been there for me, and I've been there for him. He's a good dude. But he's one of those who says that white people owe him personally an apology for this or an apology for that. And I'm just like, I'm not apologizing to you for shit, right? And I still love you, right? And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, sorry, I was just in my feelings and I posted that. And you know me, I'm not one to take something down. And I'm like, I would never censor you. However, and then I then proceeded to in a kind, loving way, told him he was full of shit, and we had a good laugh, and and a hug, and that was it. But no, when it's like I said, I will never waste my time hating someone, and I will never. I will never instigate a fight with someone, especially someone who's done so much work for me or done so much for me. But if we didn't know each other, he wouldn't have the same respect for me, being that I'm a white dude and he's a black dude who fancies himself a revolutionary. It's delusion. It is. Remember, Delulu is not the Salulu, But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Go show your support for ShoeonHead. Make sure you go give her some likes and some attention. She's definitely earned it. She works hard. And she made Hassan Piker feel really insecure about himself to the point where he wears suits now for some reason. And he tries to play it off and say that old conservative ladies like them when it was really someone who's actually a year or two younger than him. And she's the commie mommy. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Love you guys. It means the world to me. Shapeshifter, Yanuka especially. Y'all are amazing. We'll see y'all tomorrow. And until then, this is Alfie Animus with the Associated Guests signing out.